So you've been at Bournemouth University for 5 years, because including your foundation year. So if we break
Yes.
down where you lived, where did you live in your
Mm-hmm.
first year?
Okay. So first year of uni or
Foundation,
foundation?
foundation year.
Okay. Okay, so foundation year, first term I lived in Cranbourne House.
And what did you think?
Hated it.
What's wrong with
I
Cranbourne
absolutely,
House?
well, okay, so as I told you, I came from a kind of conservative background, very male female um segregated.
Okay.
So I think what did it for me, and I just absolutely hated the experience after that, is I requested to be in an only female flat, and everyone in that flat were all master's students. So I didn't really
Get to
get,
interact with other students.
yeah, because they were all master's students,
Mm,
so they all did things together, they studied together.
mm.
Also, all their backgrounds were the same.
Was
They all were from China,
okay.
so there was a huge cultural gap.
Mm,
I didn't mind getting to know them, but also I found out later on when we started bonding is they were a bit insecure when it comes to their language to speak to me. That's why they struggled, and it was just easier for them to just
be
stick together
together.
because they're all in the same level academically, they're all from the same culture.
Mm,
It was just perfect for them. Whereas for me, I was not even a bachelor's student yet. I was just foundation
mm.
year. So there was that huge gap. And we were all girls in that flat. So I remember one evening, a few boys kind of broke the door, the emergency door to our flat. So came into our flat, not from the front door of the flat, and started running down our hallway. And I think this was like at 3 a.m. or something.
Lovely.
And I was asleep, obviously, but that woke me up. And I was afraid, not terrified. I was afraid because I was confused.
Mm.
Um, because normally, sure, even if the girls do go out and then they come back, they're not that noisy.
Mm.
So I was a bit confused. But I was angry more than anything.
3 a.m. in the morning.
Um, exactly at 3 in the morning. And I remember someone trying to open my door. And then I
Oh.
started hearing male voices. And that's when I was like, oh, hell no. This is not happening to me right now. But I guess I acted on impulse, and I was angry. So I wasn't afraid. As I said, I think the fear broke in later when I opened the door and it was three guys just standing there. And I started yelling at them, and I was like, what are you doing here? And just yelling, and my brain just couldn't fathom
What
what
was
was
going on?
happening. And yeah, and I remember just um getting dressed and going down to reception and saying, it's 3 a.m. and three guys found a way to go into our flat. I currently do not feel like I am safe. This is unacceptable, blah blah blah, you know. So I think after that it just did it for me.
Downhill, because obviously if someone could easily break into your flat, obviously they didn't have intent, but if what if someone had the wrong intention in their mind? So that's kind of, especially because you requested to be with all girls. The point of being with all girls is to be away from boys, and now boys have found a way to get, they've basically just broken the whole reason you requested to be with girls. But
Exactly. Thank you for seeing it that way, because that's how it was for me at the time. And after that, I was like, I can't live in this. I can't live in this building anymore. But we were kind of technically kicked out, so I only ended up staying there for like a term and a half,
kicked out.
because yeah, they were opening Lansdowne Point, and they were relocating all international students to Lansdowne Point
Why?
and making I wasn't sure actually. They were they told us they had to relocate all international students to Lansdowne Point, and Cranbourne House had to be for uh, BU students only, first year to final year.
They
So us foundations and masters would all need to be moved to Lansdowne Point.
okay. And was that an upgrade or a downgrade?
That was an upgrade. No one touched my beds. you could smell the paint, and they took you to see the location and the site being built, which was also really nice. They're like, oh, this is the building that we're going to move you guys to. I know it was kind of them kicking us out, but in a really nice, luxurious way. Like, look, this is the building, this is what we're gonna have there, this is what we're gonna include, this is your common room. The common room was a total upgrade compared to the common room in Cranbourne House. So I was happy overall, I think.
Okay, so in your second year. Oh, first year of university, but second year in the UK.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That was Lansdowne Point.
Still
That was
again.
Lansdowne Point. Yeah. So first year, no.
We'll do it in how long you've been in the UK. So in your first year of the UK, you were in foundation year. You stayed at Cranbourne and then moved to Lansdowne.
So not all of my foundation year was in Cranbourne. My foundation year was 3 terms. So first term was in Cranbourne, which was a summer term.
Okay.
So when I was done with that term, the second term, I got moved to middle of second term. I got moved to Lansdowne Point, but also my course got moved to the building next to Lansdowne Point.
The executive building, the business building.
No, it was the building next to that building. It was on the same street.
Okay.
It's the college building basically now, but the old college building at the time was where Naked is in Lansdowne Point. That street, that area. So they changed the building. They changed our accommodation. So literally, I feel very bad saying this for some, if my lecturers ever see this who taught me in foundation year, but I would roll out of bed and just go to lectures. That's how close it was and so convenient. Sometimes I'd be in my pajama top, but just wear jeans and just go and be like, okay, I'm here like 5 minutes before the class starts, or like literally 5 minutes in the starting of the class.
You're already there just like that, quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It was so convenient, so I didn't complain at all. After foundation year, first year of uni, that was when when I thought, you know what, actually comparing and seeing where other students are living, Lansdowne Point might be a bit expensive. So let me move to Lulworth, which was literally like so close to Lansdowne Point anyway.
Is that a different accommodation?
Yeah, it's a private student accommodation.
Okay.
So yeah, so I stayed in Lulworth.
How was that?
For 2 years. So I did a flat. I shared a flat with my friend. So both of us chose the same flat. We wanted to be in the same flat, and it was all right. There was a lot of first year students, so very kind of, I guess, British culture, kind of everyone excited, always going out, all these different events that maybe me and my friend weren't aware of. Like later on we found out that there were bracelets and stuff like
the
that,
wristbands and the
yeah, all these things. Like they don't really tell you about that in college. In foundation year, they don't tell you about that. They tell you about referencing, but they don't tell you about the social side of it. So I remember I was just like in shock because alcohol is not allowed in my country anyways. So I remember kind of being in culture shock that first year. It was first a lot for me to take in, to see people drunk every single weekend like that. But it was also a lot to take in, to see people breaking elevators because everyone is drunk and they all, try and all fit into the elevator. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in.
It was very different.
And it was overwhelming. It kind of made me feel like, you know what, let me just stay home. I don't want to leave home, or I don't want to leave my room. And because my friends were majority international students, we all kind of felt the same. And yeah, I feel like I needed a bit more time to kind of get into the culture and
Mm.
start understanding the culture a bit more.
Okay, so in your final year, where are we living?
And in my final year right now, I'm living in a shared house. I think that was the best decision I made, to be honest, because now I'm quarantined in the house, and it's a house with a garden. The only thing of getting a house when my friends were trying to find a house, I said if it was close to town, then I'm in. But if it's not close to town, then
You're out.
no, I'm not going to Winton. No,
Why? What's
I don't.
wrong with?
And I'm not hating on Winton, but it's not for me. No, like I would rather be close to the social life in town, the shops, the clubs, the cinema. Everything is just very close and walking distance to me, and I just really like that. And that's kind of what I wanted for me in my final year. I wanted to balance both,
Mm.
because now I'm exposed to everything and I know what I want to do and what I don't want to do, or what I want to engage in and what I don't want to engage in. And yeah, I wanted it to be balanced, and I wanted it to be easy access to balance. So being close to town and the beach, it was something to me that it just